Hey everyone, I'm Nate.
And I'm Abby.
This little guy's Popeye. He came to join us today.
We're not.
We are the TheRcSaylors. Today should be a fun day because we are going to be showing you the MJX Bugs 2 C. This is the camera-only version. What this is a GPS drone by MJX with brushless motors. This is super exciting to see a fairly budget-friendly brushless motor GPS drone come to the market with things like fail-safe, things like a return to home. If the battery gets low, it'll return to home. Basically, anytime you panic, it can find its way back home and land roughly where it took off. This is really cool. It's got a 1080p camera. It has a micro SD card slot, so we should be able to record all the footage. So this is really exciting. I love seeing this come to the market. The only weird thing that confuses me about all of this is the fact that they had the Bugs 3. That was one of the first ones to come to the market, and now the Bugs 2, 6, and 8. Their naming convention doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but at least it's not super confusing like the Hubsan stuff. You know, at least this has smaller numbers. I think it's easier to separate. So there's the Bugs 2. I did bring the Bugs 3 as a size reference for you guys. A lot of people out there have or want to own the Bugs 3, and now with the Bugs 2 having a GPS, that's really the main difference in this.
And a built-in camera already.
Yeah, you're right. This one, the Bugs 2 has a really nice camera. The 3 does not. It just has a light on the front. So you still have brushless motors, you still have a long flight time, but this one, the 3, is actually harder to fly for a newer pilot. This is going to be extremely easy to fly for anyone new, and the brushless motors means it should last a really long time. I also brought out, because we recently showed this on the channel, this is the Bugs 8, which is a 5.8 gigahertz, kind of like a race drone, beginner-friendly race drone. And it did really well on the channel. It had one little flaw near the end. You guys will have to check that video out to see what I'm talking about if you missed it. But just as a size reference for that, it's quite a bit smaller than the Bugs 2 and the 3. Now I know everybody really wants to see this in the air, so I'm not going to spend much more time looking at the stuff that comes with it, but I do want to show you guys really quickly. The transmitter is a really nice basic transmitter, very, very similar to the other Bugs transmitters. This one has the left side, the throttle stick is spring-loaded because it has the GPS altitude hold, and then we have things up here like auto takeoff, auto land.
The other ones don't have that screen.
Return to home, and you're right, there is no display on those. This one has information on when you turn it on, like how many satellites are connected, so you know if you have a GPS lock or not. You need 7 or more, or maybe it's 8 or more, it's somewhere right around there, to know that you have a GPS lock. So there's information and telemetry on here. It also tells you how much battery life you have left in your drone. The Bugs 2 is boasting a roughly 20-minute flight time best case scenario, and they advertise as it being a 5-hour charge time on the included charger, which is via USB. They do have a wall charging option as well that still takes 5 hours to charge. Now, to be honest with you guys, I've had mine plugged in for about 8 hours now, and the indicator did not go off. It charges via the balance port, which is a 2-cell balance port for the 2-cell LiPo battery, 7.4 volt. That's an 1800 milliamp LiPo, and it has a proprietary XT30 connector on there. And that it's kind of a funny way to plug it in here, but it's just how it is. It kind of works. It's a kind of good idea, but it's also a little annoying. You have to tuck the little balance port in there pretty far. I'm trying to show you that. Can you see it, Abby? Mm-hmm. And then when you charge it, you have to kind of dig in there and try to get it out. And then there's no on-off switch on this drone, which I don't like at all.
It's really weird that it does that.
And then it plugs in here. So you really don't stand much of a chance of getting, I mean, you could put a battery in there and plug it in through the XT30 connector, but it would just be a little hard. So I think that's important to point out, just because it is proprietary. Then in the bag of spare parts we have stickers, a little quick start guide which tells you how to calibrate the compass. You have a micro SD card which is 8 gigs included and a card converter through USB and 4 spare props. You also have a little prop removing tool which is like a clamp, very handy, a screwdriver to access the battery port on the back of your transmitter, and spare washers that go underneath the props in here just to kind of help cushion and dampen vibrations. Last but not least, it does come with a very nice, very easy to read, legible, easy to understand instruction manual. And as you can hear, Popeye is dying. He hasn't come up here to chase drones with us in a long time, so he's excited to fly and get this in the air. So let's just do that. Let's cut right to the chase. I want to show you guys the takeoff process on this because you really need to do this about any time you fly in a new location, and it's a little different than most drones. So it's pretty important that we pay attention for this because it's so different. It can be a little confusing. The first time you turn this on, I know for sure you have to hold the red button and then turn the transmitter on, and it's in a binding state. So you can release that red button, then you plug in the battery. You notice we got a beep out of the transmitter.
Popeye's the best audience.
He is. Our lights on the drone are cycling through green, red, and yellow, and it should do that for about 8 seconds. We have a beep, and now my lights on the drone are yellow. I rotate the drone about 3 times until I notice my lights changing. Now they're green. There was only 2 rotations. I face the camera down and I rotate either way, it doesn't matter. And I should notice a change in my lights.
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow. So now I know we're calibrated. The compass is calibrated. And the GPS. Come on, buddy. Really?
I should have been filming him.
Okay, we're going to try to time the flight roughly here, and I'm just going to go ahead and press video. We should hold it, and we do have an indicator on the screen now. This little guy is blinking to show that we're filming, which is very cool. Can you get that? Mm-hmm. And then you see down here, we have 11 satellites locked. So that means we should have a good solid GPS lock. So I just want to start the motors with this auto takeoff. Sorry, there's probably, oh, I'm sorry, I have to start the motors, which is our big red button. So touch that once, the motors start and they're in an idle mode, and then I press my auto takeoff button. This is about the auto takeoff height. It did this on its own. He's super excited to chase the drone. I just took the drone out a little bit farther so we could actually talk a little. Popeye's just having a good time. He hasn't been out here at the airfield to chase anything in a super long time. So right now I'm completely hands-free. I think I should just come out here and show you guys. I'll take it up some.
Yeah, it's behind you. You stood in my shot.
How's that?
Oh, there it is.
So this is working really well. It's completely hands-free. Anybody can fly this. The GPS is holding it right in place. Abby, if you could get a quick shot of the windsock. I'd say we've got a solid 5-mile-an-hour breeze and maybe up to 8 or 9-mile-an-hour gusts of wind. So based on that, you know, maybe you guys can see the footage, how smooth it is. And if you just look at it from here, I'll pull it in a little closer so it's easier to film. This is flying really nice. You can see how rock solid this is. I kind of want to hover over something so you have a bit of a reference, but it is just super rock solid. Got in this shadow there. Amazing, amazing the technology that holds these things in place. Solid green lights on the back, solid red lights on the front. Hopefully that 1080p camera looks pretty good. The brushless motors sound amazing. I'll fly in a little closer so you guys can hear those.
Are you recording?
Yes. I was just trying to be quiet. So people can hear that, although there's like a chainsaw running in the background in the woods.
Yeah.
Something. So, sorry about that. Let's see here. There's all kinds of cool information on my screen. It does have a height and distance labeled. You see that? H and D. And it's 002 and 005. I'm wondering if that's meters, because it's definitely not feet.
Yeah, it's 17 satellites now.
17 satellites. That's really good. 16. I'm going to fly higher and just let's get a nice, pretty view for everyone. And you can see that H is climbing like crazy.
And what is that again? The height?
Height. And D is distance. So it keeps track of. There's a lot of telemetry going on here. My transmitter battery, my receiver battery, which is going to be on the drone, and that's blinking to tell us we're filming. So all kinds of really cool telemetry. We have a couple other things I want to test too while we're at it. So since we're up really high, I'm going to rotate this way. Should be not as many shadows. I'm going to stop filming here for a second.
You're right above us.
It's cool. It's okay. As long as you got that rolling, we're good. Let's take a picture. Let's just hit the photo button. We got a little flash that popped up on the screen. That's okay. I'm going to rotate again a bit here, and we'll just go with that direction. That's a pretty shot. Take a picture. Let's do one more picture. I'll take it towards town, all the buildings and stuff. Take another.
That's too far away.
I'll go a little higher too. Let's go up. Let's go up to 100. I'm guessing that's meters because I know it's not feet. Maybe we can change that. That would be nice. I can still see the drone just fine. We're at 100 meters high. Really high up there, so let's take a picture. Very cool. And let's start filming again. Just press and hold that button. So that worked really, really well. Can't even hardly hear the drone anymore. Straight above me and Abby. And let's just go ahead and take it out a little farther. We'll get a cool shot of the airfield while we're at it. So I can see my distance is going up pretty rapidly. We're already up to 100 now, meters I think. And I can see the drone really well. That white looks so good in the sky. We're very, very far and very high. Let me do my best to turn back around. I think we're facing us again. Hard to tell at that distance. I can still see the drone, but now because I am far away, I am a little disoriented on my direction. What I want to do is turn on my compass, my headless mode basically. So because, let's just say, all right, I see my drone, it's a dot in the sky. Show them up there, Abby.
It's somewhere out there.
It's pretty much nothing in that cloud right there. I see it. I know it's hard for you to see the big circle kind of looking cloud.
Oh, I see it.
It's a little dot there.
Cloud, I
but
believe.
You know, real world example. Okay, I don't know which direction I'm facing. So, but I want to get it home. I don't want to do the return to home. That might be a little slow. So what I'm going to do is put it in headless mode, which is this little switch here on the right.
Sorry, okay? Popeye was running away.
We got this little switch here. I throw that over and a little indicator pops up on screen, and now I'm in headless mode. So I should be able to just pull back to me no matter which way I'm facing. And it's coming back to me very quickly, very cool, because I'm full throttle here. Now just to prove this to you guys, I'm going to rotate the quad a little bit, and it should be in a different direction now. You should be able to easily see that on the camera of the drone. And I'm going to keep pulling towards me, and sure enough, it's coming exactly back to me. Very, very cool. Very cool. It works really well. Now I'm going to turn that off and bring it down some because we're still pretty high. And what I want to do next is test by turning the GPS off. You can actually turn that off. There we go. You're dropping down some there. Abby's, Popeye's right there. He's just by
I know,
the
I didn't
lines.
see him a second.
So we're lowering down. I want to see which way we're faced. Okay, I want to bring it back in. We'll go film Popeye for a second.
Yeah, I'll get him over here.
This thing flies like a dream. You see the drone there, Abby?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find Pops. There he is.
He's
hey, Popeye.
running the wrong way.
Popeye.
Come here, bud.
Come here, buddy. We're testing the drone for you. He's fine. He's just peeing on all the shrubs. Okay, so there's a little butterfly under us. Hey, buddy. Good boy. There's Popeye.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing, we can turn off the GPS function. So I'm gonna throw that switch. It's the one right under throttle. So I just throw that switch off. Now the GPS satellite image went away. You can see now the wind is pulling the drone away. That's the direction that the wind is blowing. So we should be a little more agile now though. I'm gonna go ahead and... It's actually not much more agile. I suppose if you were just trying to fly and you couldn't get a GPS lock, this is how you would do it. You still have a barometer holding the altitude, but there is no GPS lock, so wind will pull you away. But it's nice that they give you the option of turning that off. So now, see, I'm kind of drifting. If I push it forward and let go, I continue to drift in that direction because there's no GPS lock. I want to turn that back on though, because I like flying this with the GPS. That's amazing. All right, there is, I think, one more real feature that I want to test, which is the return to home.
We're on 9 minutes of battery.
This is good. This is really good. So that means we're at a 7-minute flight time. Okay.
No, 9 minutes battery.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. You're keeping track for me. All right, so you got a good shot of the drone.
Yep.
I am going to lower it some just to see if it does go up. That's probably as low as I want to go. And I want to hit return to home, which should be...
Hi! Get back here!
Come on, buddy. He likes the wonder. He knows. He knows. Let's hit return to home, Abby, and see how it does, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. I did a short press, and it looks like it's activated. So...
Where'd it go?
It's going
way
up. Climbing up. The reason it does this is to do its best to clear some obstacles like trees. Now, of course, that's not going to clear all trees, but here we go. It's found its home point, and it is going to do an auto land here in just a minute.
I gotta restart the camera. Okay.
Okay, there it goes, completely on its own. After about 10 seconds or so of hovering there, it has decided it wants to auto land.
I got him, I got him. As long as it's
Again, I'm not touching the controls at all.
I'm barely touching the camera.
It completely did that, 100% on its own. Very cool, very awesome. What do you think, Popeye?
He likes it.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah? I think I do too, buddy. It's a good drone, huh? Come on, let's go take off again. Let's pass it over to Abby and see how she does.
Oh, cool.
I got Popeye. I'm ready for takeoff when you are.
Start the motors.
Yep.
Listen to that.
Sounds really cool.
It's almost like a really high-tech washing machine.
And then hit auto takeoff.
Dryer.
Oh, okay, you shot it up a little high. Okay, that's cool. Just let Popeye go. There's the little guy chasing it. It's a beautiful day to fly.
Oh, yeah. There he goes. This is the workout.
Where's he at? There he goes. Popeye! A lot of times we take his leash off, but he hasn't been out here with us for a while flying. So we left him on so it's easier to catch him if we need to chase after him.
I'm trying to get him on video.
Oh, cool. Are you flying backwards?
No.
Oh, I see.
Like, hey, get back here.
He gave up. He says, that's enough. I'm getting too old for this. So you're flying it really well.
Oh my goodness, this thing is awesome. It's really easy to fly. It's relaxing to fly.
Yeah. I can honestly say this is flying as I hoped and expected it to. I'm not getting any problems out of it. Everything seems to be working really well. And look at it, it just looks cool. That beeping may be telling us that our battery's getting low.
Hey, Popeye.
She's trying to catch little Popeye. Because it may need to land soon. So what we've got now is red blinking lights on the back of the drone, red solid lights on the front, and you hear that beep out of the transmitter that's saying, hey, your battery's low. I know...
Wait, transmitter is full battery, receiver has 2 bars?
Yes. You might want to try flying a little more just to see how long we can get out of it.
It's nice that the lights change and that we have an audible beeping that comes from the transmitter, because sometimes when they come from the quad, it can be hard to hear it.
Right.
that's really nice. I did not get much of a flight time.
No, and you know,
thanks, Nathan.
The charge on this, it took a long time to charge, and we didn't, after 8 hours, we did not get an indicator that the battery was full, so I'm going to try using my hobby grade charger on the next flight.
And we're on a 14-minute flight time.
14-minute flight time. That's pretty good. They're saying 20 minutes max on perfect conditions, so that's pretty realistic. A 14-minute flight time, that's about what I would expect.
Lights are still red.
I do know for sure that if you fly out of range of the transmitter on this drone, it will automatically return to home. If you're not at the home location, Abby's, it's auto landing on its own. Okay, cool.
And also, if you want to brighten this up,
Mm-hmm.
you can see the receiver
Let me see here.
battery is
All the way down to the last bar.
Yeah.
Cool.
But the transmitter is still full. So,
okay.
Video.
Press and hold.
Okay.
Okay. Very
Not
nice.
bad.
Alright, so we got a 14.5-minute flight time, although we pushed it just a little bit too long, probably 30 seconds too long. When you get that beep, that means it's time to land. Save the overall health of your battery so you can get hundreds of flights out of it rather than 50 flights. If you take care of your battery, then it will take care of you and give you a long life.
I really liked that. That was fun to fly.
Love this drone.
Super laid back.
Couple features that this does have that I didn't test because really I don't want to or feel safe testing is that when the drone, if the drone flies out of the range of the transmitter, in other words, if you hand the controls unknowingly to your little 3-year-old kid or something and they just push forward for a solid minute and you turn around and hey, your drone's gone, it will, as long as it has a GPS lock, fly back and land where it took off.
Supposed to.
That's really cool. And I believe that it would because the GPS thing worked so well. Also, if the battery gets low, you can just hit that return to home and it'll fly back. And if you're flying and it's so low that you don't have enough time for it to fly back because it knows how far away it is from you, it will just do an auto land. It can do an auto land anywhere and it'll just slowly shut the motors off. So this is probably one of the most beginner-friendly GPS fail-safe kind of drones on the market that you don't have to spend $500 or so for. What you're lacking on a drone like this is a camera gimbal. You don't really need a gimbal for something that you're learning to fly a GPS drone on. This can teach you a lot about GPS drones, and I highly recommend this. If you don't own any GPS drones, like the Hubsan or anything along those lines, then definitely consider picking this up. I think one deciding factor will be how does that camera quality look. Bear in mind as you watched this video that it's pretty windy, so it's not going to be super smooth like a DJI Phantom or a Mavic or an Inspire because it doesn't have the gimbal. It'll hold in place, but winds will rock it around some. So that's something you want to consider while watching this video and considering to buy it.
How does this compare to that Hubsan?
That one is brushed motors.
Oh, okay.
This one is brushless.
Because doesn't that remind you of it?
Yeah,
like
very,
because the
very
GPS
similar.
and stuff.
Because there's no FPV on this one.
Yeah.
Now you can pay I think $40 more and have a Wi-Fi FPV version. Heads up. Nudge nudge wink wink. We have that. We'll be showing it on the channel sometime.
Of the
I don't know
bugs.
when. And it's the same thing, but it has an FPV connection. It's more expensive. But the one that Abby was referring to, the Hubsan one that's white with the red props.
It's about $70 to $80.
Brushed motors versus brushless.
Okay.
I think it has maybe at best a 720p camera. The camera was not great on it.
Okay.
The camera should be pretty awesome on this.
Because that's one that we highly recommend, and we've highly recommended it for a while now, so I'm just curious, and I'm excited to see the camera footage of this one.
A little more than double the price on this guy versus that one. This one has much higher level of quality versus that little cheap Hubsan GPS drone. This falls in at a category of I don't want to buy a Phantom yet, but I sure would like to enjoy having a camera drone with a GPS that I'm not going to worry about the wind taking it away. So So super awesome for kind of an upper end beginner drone. I never recommend DJI products as a first drone. You should always start on something that's half price or so before you jump up to that, unless you just have the deepest pockets in the world and an endless amount of money. You know, and these always hold their value really well too. You can sell it once you're done learning on it to somebody else wanting to learn how to fly a drone. Very, very cool setup. I really like this. I give it 2 huge thumbs up. We'll have it linked in the description box below.
As well as the Hudson drone we were talking about and the other bugs that we showed you in the beginning.
Yes, this is a winner. I really like this. We're going to hold on to this. This is a great drone.
And guys, don't forget, if we hit 100,000 subscribers by September 1st, Nate's birthday, we are giving away a DJI Spark. So share this video so we can hit that milestone.
Very cool. Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.